Guys, Betfas has done it once again, finishing top 3 in the entire world. In today's video, I will be showing you guys the matches that did get him to the top 1 of the world, guys. I was able to record some live matches here, which I will be showing you guys in a little bit, of him on his way to getting top 1, guys. And this was with 1 day left in the season. So hopefully you guys do enjoy. If you guys do enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Make sure you guys do subscribe, because I see that 77% of you guys are not subscribed. So make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel and like the video if you guys do enjoy. And we're already in our first game here. Kind of a rocky start against, I think this is Remieli. I could be mistaken. But this is going to be kind of a tough matchup. He does have that Magic Archer. He does have that Evo Drill. Kind of a difficult matchup if you ask me. We'll have to see though, because Betfas is obviously the best Xbow player by far. So he will be showing us if this matchup is as bad as I think it is. But I do think it's quite a difficult matchup. But we'll see how he deals it with it, guys, because I know for a fact he can win this. And he is going for top 1, guys. So stay tuned. Make sure you guys stay till the end. It will be a fun video, guys. I did record also some replays, which I will show you guys towards the end of the video, but I do have some replays of him beating like the hardest matchups in the game for Xbow Cycle. So yeah, if you guys don't want to miss that out, make sure you guys stay till the end. I promise you guys will not regret it. And as I said before, this is going to be kind of a tough matchup because of that Goblin Demolisher, guys. That Goblin Demolisher plus Marcher and Hero Knight combination is going to be really tough to defend. And yeah, he goes with his Marcher here. Betfas kind of not ready with his Fireball, so he takes quite a bit of damage there. I do think he's obviously in a really good spot here, so I don't think from here he's gonna lose per se, but he's doing okay. Really bad NATO by the opponent. Wow. The opponent still has to log. Wait, is that gonna lock on the tower? Yo, it looks on the tower. Wait, what's the opponent doing, bro? What's he doing? That was a cell right there. And now the tower's at 600 HP. Yeah. Okay, well, the opponent's going to get up, guys. But yeah, I mean, that is an insane game right there. The opponent just made a whole bunch of mistakes and kind of allowed Betfas to come back. He was already in a really good spot, but all those mistakes just kind of piled up on him and just made him lose the game. So I will see you guys in the next match. Okay, guys, into our second match. He is against Yerson CZ. This used to be one of the best 2.6 players back in the day, guys. So I do think this isn't going to be the best matchup for him. And it's not going to be easy either, because Yerson is one of the best, as I said, used to be one of the best Hog Rider players in the entire game. So especially not in the current state that this deck is in, I don't think this is a really good matchup for Betfas. We'll have to see. But guys, pay attention to that shove right there with the Xbow. He shoved the Xbow like that on purpose, just so he couldn't give Yerson any fireball value on the tower that he's going for. So that is a good trick to know when you're playing against 2.6, or when you're playing against any kind of, fireball deck or any like poison deck, lightning deck. You don't want to necessarily give them fireball value with your Xbow, because they can always hit it with pretty much anything, even EQ decks. So I would say, put it, especially when they have the fireball, that's probably the best placement right there. Because it does prevent them from going with their fireball on your tower and getting free chip damage. Because this matchup is going to come down just to spell cycle, as you guys will see in a second here. Let's see if he pops his ability here. He's not going to, okay. And as you guys can see, he's not giving Yerson any fireball value, because he knows that if he gets like even 1 or 2 fireballs, this game is kind of over. So this is mostly going to be a matchup of just, who can spell cycle more, who can get like those 1 E-Spirit connections, who can get like more log chip damage. Like, I've beaten this matchup quite a few times, but it's either I beat it by like a whole fireball, or I beat it by just like 20 HP. It's going to be a very tough game, even for Yerson, I assume. So we'll have to see what happens here, but I assume Betfas knows what he's doing, obviously. Number 1 finisher, I assume he knows what he's doing, right? And that he could probably win this matchup too. But we'll have to see, because this matchup is just not easy. The opponent goes with their turret there, but like, you see, guys, I mean, that's just another thing with this game. Like why did they release that card, man? I'll never understand this. Yeah, you see, look, he's got already a second turret. Look, he goes to this ability there. He goes to the Nevo cannon, and like his whole push is dead. Look at that. And he still has to respond to that musketeer. That's just insane right there, guys. I assume Betfas is not too happy about that because that is just that's not fair, guys. That's literally just all that is to say. It's not fair. So I assume he's gonna be able. He's probably gonna defend that. He's gonna go log, right? Oh, he kills the cannon. Wait, that's really good. He has to go with his ice golem again. That's really good. He's going to go with his archers, too. He's going to log this, I assume. Yep. So he gets no damage once again. But that archer looks in the tower. Wait, that's huge. Wait, that actually might have won Betfas the game. Low-key, bro. Because, I mean, he cannot take any damage from those archers. And that archer might have just cost him the game. We'll have to see here. But I assume he's going to log the cannon, right? Okay, go with this log, then Esper like this. And then, yeah, he has to go with another ice golem. But, wow, guys, that took a turn of events because now Yersin's in a really bad position here. He's going to go Knight just to block for that turret that he's going to pop the Yersin. And then he's going to go Skelly's here just so he doesn't get log predicted. Perfect log. Perfect Tesla right there, guys. So he's going to defend the hog relatively well. But he's going to have to watch out that he doesn't get out-cycled now. In a second, yeah, he's going to fireball the tower like that. He's getting out-cycled, I think. He's going to have to go with another Tesla. Yeah, never mind. He's back to his Tesla, so he goes with his musketeer there. I assume he's going to try to get like a split lane pressure. Yeah, he's going to. But those archers, guys, that was genius right there. That was absolutely genius. So he's going to go with his Tesla high like that, guys, because he didn't want to give him fireball value on the Tesla and the archers. And at this point, he can just calmly fireball cycle, and there's not really much the opponent can do about it. He's going to split archers here just so he doesn't give him fireball value. Log the musketeer there. He's probably going to fireball all of this because he really doesn't need damage on the tower. Yeah, exactly. And he's also going to block with that knight there. Going to go with his archers. I think he logs this too. Yeah, he's going to go log there. The opponent's going to try to go Ice Spirit plus log, I think. Skelly's here for the hog rider. Wait, those evil Skellies. He has to fireball that out. Wait, what is he doing? Yo, he's low-key choking. E-Spirit? Archers? Okay, fireball. No, he's fine. Oh my god, guys, that was such a scare. But that is going to do it for this win, guys. Holy crap. He played that just about as perfectly as you want to play. And Yersin did, of course, make a few mistakes in that match. But, you know, that's with everybody. Everybody makes mistakes. But that was a really, really good win, guys. And I hope you guys learned how to beat 2.6 Hog Cycle. And in the meantime, while we wait for him to find a match, I will show you guys that he is number 13 in the world, guys. Insane gameplay right here. Alright, guys. He found a match against TR Sosa. We're a little bit late here. We're about 20 seconds late, but I think it's fine. He looks like that he's playing against a Loon Cycle deck, I assume. Kind of an interesting off-meta deck here. You don't face much Lumber Loon Cycle anymore. So, but I think they're friends because they're both from Mexico. I faced this guy myself quite a few times, this TR Sosa guy. So I kind of know already what he's playing, but he's doing pretty well this season, I guess it seems. But yeah, this matchup is very easy for Xbow, guys. This is probably one of the few matchups which you just like are dying to face. Like, this is one of the few matchups which is like really, really, really easy for Xbow, and I would take this matchup over pretty much anything. So he's gonna show you how it's done here. Really good freeze by the opponent, actually. Wow. I gotta give it to him. That was a really good freeze. But that fireball was even better because it allowed the archer to hit the Inferno Dragon and pretty much kill the entire thing. So that was a really, really good freeze by the opponent, but it was also a really good fireball by Betfas to get even more damage than he would have before. So now let's kind of see what the opponent has in store for us here. He still has to defend that knight, so he's forced to go with a bowler. 5 elixir for 3, that's kind of not the trade you want to do. But I assume what he's going to do here, guys, is this is a pro tip, but if you didn't know, you can place your Tesla or in the placement that he's going to place right now, and you can actually activate King Tower, which is a really, really good play. So he's going to go with his archers here, and he has to, yeah, he's going to fireball that. I think he kind of panicked there. He thought the opponent was going to freeze, but I don't think he had freeze in cycle, so that wouldn't have been a good play either way. So kind of a bad fireball by Betfas, which is going to mean he's going to be down like 4 elixir, but he's going to continuously pressure here. He did waste the Inferno Dragon, so that is a good play. You always want to be pressuring the opponent when they waste their Inferno Dragon like that, because that's one of their main counters to your Xbow. Also the bowler. really, really good counter to the Xbow, but if you block it with a knight, it's actually like not as menacing. So he's back to his Xbow. I think he's gonna play it again. Yeah, because he's not back to bowler. You see, yeah, he has to go with his bar builder. He has to freeze now. I think he goes with his eye drag, right? But he has to freeze. Yeah, he has nothing. He goes with his Evo Tesla there. Wait, I think he's gonna, yeah, E-Spirit and then Skellies. Yeah, he has to freeze, or else he's gonna like pretty much lose his entire tower. But this is really, really good for Betfas here. He's going to keep his Evo Tesla alive, and I think he might go in with another Xbow since he does have an Evo Tesla alive. Yep, look at that. As I said, right on cue. He's going to have to go with his boulder low because he can't play high because of the Evo Tesla. And now the opponent's probably going to go with his eye drag. He's going to predict it with a knight. Kind of a bad knight there. It's fine. He still has to play his own knight. That boulder does die to the entire Xbow. Betfas with an interesting Tesla. I don't agree with that. But he's going to go with his E-Spirit plus Skellies just to keep his Tesla alive a little bit longer and kill the eye drag. And he's also going to kill the bar burl. So that's really, really good value there. He might go another, yeah, I was going to say, he might go with another Xbow there. The opponent is ready with the bowler, which is fine. He's going to have to freeze this, unfortunately, which means that's, dude, that's like 12 elixir on that. So, yeah, that's not the play the opponent wanted to make right there. So yeah, now we can just, yeah, he's gonna fireball that, yeah. Betfas is gonna win this pretty comfortably, guys. As I said, this matchup is like really, really bad for the opponent. So really, really bad ability there by Betfas. I'm not sure what he was doing there. Bad ability by the opponent too. So yeah, they're kind of just trading bad play after bad play, but it doesn't really matter because at this point the game is kind of sealed, guys. I mean, the opponent can't really do anything. Like, let's be real here. The matchup is really, really good for Betfas, and the opponent just doesn't really know what he's doing here. So he's gonna go with his Evo Tesla there. That eye drag's kind of looking scary, low key. So he has to go with his E-Spirit there. Wait, that E-Spirit, it got frozen. Wait. Evo Archer's here. He has to block that baby dragon, or else it's gonna kill everything. No, it's not. Wait, the opponent tornadoes. Wait, I think he's fine here, right? Because the balloon is gonna go to our Xbow, right? Yeah, perfect. And then he's gonna have to get with a bowler down. Okay, really, really good. He goes with his ability there, perfect. But yeah, there's just 10 seconds left, guys. There's not really much he could do here. The opponent is just playing for his pride at this point. But yeah, that's going to be GG's, guys. I mean, Betfas play this about as perfect as you can. This matchup, as I said before, is very, 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 very easy for Xbow. And it's one of the few matchups which I would say is like a completely free matchup. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next match. Alright, guys, he's into another match against Rin, who is one of the best miner players in the game. So we will be in store for some high quality gameplay here. I do think Rin is using that new, I forgot it's like a miner poison with wall breakers. I could be mistaken. No, okay, it's not no, I think it is wall breakers. It has to be. Yeah, okay, it does have wall breakers. Okay, that makes more sense. But this matchup, as you guys can tell, I don't really need to explain it. Kind of a hard matchup for Xbow, as are pretty much every single deck that I'm going to be showing you guys in this video. You know, this deck is obviously not very fun to deal with when you're an Xbow player. It's almost impossible to get any Xbow connection. So you guys will see how Betfas does deal with this. But that was a really good poison by Rin. And he just goes with his ability, and that's pretty much going to be, yeah, that's going to be it for that. No damage for him once again. Xbows in this matchup are going to be pretty useless, I would say, because you're always giving the opponent just poison value on every single one of his units. Pretty much everything is poisonable there, so poison gets a ton of value in this matchup. Miner is not very easy to catch. Wall breakers, Evo are going to be really hard to deal with, except if you have E-Spirit plus Log, which fully counters it. But yeah, I mean, this matchup is just not going to be good for Betfas, unfortunately. He's kind of running into a wall. Also, Rin is very good, so I don't expect him to lose this matchup, but who knows, because Betfas, I mean, is just insane with Xbow, and like he can just turn every match that's like not good into his matchup. So Rin's just gonna go with his with his miner there outside of the poison and into the side of the Xbow, and that's gonna be a dead Xbow once again, guys. I mean, I'm telling you guys, he's not getting damage here unless he fireball cycles. And that's exactly what I think probably what he's going to do. He's probably going to fireball the tower soon. once he gets the chance to. But yeah, he's not going to be able to really do much unless he gets the fireballs on the tower. That's the only way he's getting damage here. So he's going to fireball the tower and the muskie. That's good value there. He might Tesla too. Yep, he does. Ooh, really good ability there, but he still ended up missing. But I understand what he was trying to do there. Betfas is going to catch that. That's perfect. He's probably going to let that go now to try to get some damage on the tower, which he does not. Opponent's going to poison the Xbow and the tower and go with his ability. So there's like physically nothing he can do there. Not going to get any damage once again. Rain goes with his wall breakers there just to take out the Xbow, and there's physically nothing he can do here. It seems like he's just like kind of in a losing position. Yeah, he's just going to poison there just in case he goes with like archers or anything. So that's kind of bad for him. He's going to log the shield away and then fireball the skellies. Wait, does it go on the tower? No, it doesn't. Wow. Yeah, he really cannot get any damage here, guys, as I said before. And Rin decides to just full send there with the minor plus wall breakers. But unfortunately, Betfas does have to overspend and waste his evos just like that. Rin tries to predict with a cannon, but in my opinion, that was kind of a bad play because he wasn't going to go X1 anyways. He spent 7 elixir there, so he didn't have enough elixir for the Xbow anyways. So kind of a bad prediction. It's fine though because he's probably going to kill that musketeer just with the archers. Yeah, that's perfect. Now I think he goes Xbow. No, he doesn't. Whoa. Really good Tesla there, guys. If you guys did notice, he was able to catch that miner and have the wallbreakers connect onto it. So that was a 4 for 5 trade. Really good trade by him. He tries to go E-Spirit here for the Skelly just to try to catch Rin off guard, but he doesn't. Rin knows better. And so, yeah, now this is going to look kind of scary for Betfas. Yeah, especially since he did that fireball. Not a good play. Rin goes with his log plus Evo Cannon there just to take out the archers. And then he's going to go with his Tesla here. I think that's going to catch... No, it's not going to. But Rin's miner is going to get like 2 shots. That's fine. This is not looking good for Betfas. Betfas is going to fireball that. He's back in the damage lead. He's going to have to log as well, I think. Oh, wait. Rin spent the log on defense. I don't think that's a good play. He has to be going on offense right now. He goes Evo Tesla. He catches the miner with the skeletons. Wait, he fireball logs? Wait, there's just 15 seconds left. Is he going to be able to win this? Does he out-damage him? He has to catch the next miner. If he doesn't, he loses. Let's see. Go with the Z-Spear. Ability? Oh my god! Perfect ability, guys, there. He's going to fireball in the tower? And that's going to be GG's. No way. No way he just won that matchup, guys. And that is exactly why Betfas is the best player with Expo Cycle. Absolutely beast mode right there. That is not a matchup you should win ever at all, guys. And let's just see where he's at. He is number 7 right now, guys. Holy cow. He is super close to number 1, guys. So let's get right into the matches. Alright, guys. Into our next match against Saturn King. Saturn King is a pretty decent bridge fan player, I would say. He's not the best, but he's really good at it. So this matchup is not going to be easy for Betfas. And this matchup in general is just not good for Xbow. So... I would say the matchup is not a hard counter for the Bitchman player, but it's not easy either because of the fact that he has 2 champions and both of them are completely broken against Xbow. He's got the Boss Bandit, he's got the Golden Knight, which can dash against all the archers, the Xbow, the skeletons. So that's going to be really bad for Betfas, but let's see how he handles this because he also has Evo Zap. If he had arrows, this would probably be a hard counter, I would say, but he doesn't, so it gives him like a chance here. But he does have cannon card, guys. He's got a cannon card as well, which is hard to believe. If you don't believe me, you guys are going to see. Exactly. What was I going to say? What was I saying, guys? He's got a cannon card as well. So, honestly, I don't know how Betfas is going to do this. Unfortunately, that E-Spirit dies, so he does have to take that 1 ghost shot, because if he did Skellies, then the opponent was going to go with his Boss Bandit opposite lane and pretty much take his entire tower, because you can't defend a Boss Bandit with just a Knight, because he'll just keep dashing onto the Knight and clicking his ability, and that pretty much would have been GG's if he had Knighted there. So keep note of that, guys, whenever he overcommits on defense and when he doesn't. Because there's situations where you want to be overcommitting on defense, and there's situations where you want to be taking a little bit of damage, because if not, like, he would have lost the entire game there. So that's a good play by Betfas, realizing that if he had what's it called? If he had defended that with Skellies, he would have lost the game there. So really good play by him. He goes Skellies there to catch the cannon cart. Yo, the cannon cart's going to die to the Xbow. Wait, bad Skellies, he has to go with his knight again. I don't know if he has that much elixir. Okay, he's got a golden knight. Unfortunate, so he's not getting any damage. Yo, look at that knight ability. He's supposed to play something. He has to play a heal spirit, and then he has to go with his zappies. Okay, and now he has almost a full health hero knight there going down the lane. So the opponent has to go with a low cannon cart. That cannon cart is going to die pretty much to the Xbow, so he has to go with this ghost. I think Betfas is going to try to protect this just to get some damage. But yeah, the opponent has golden knight. He's not getting damage there once again. Not surprised at all. So he has to go with his hero knight now, and I think he's going to go Xbow opposite lane. Yep, he will. And a Tesla just for the boss bandit, Skellies. Oh, he doesn't catch that in time. Rip. So that's going to be a dead Xbow. Wait, it's not. He gets a small lock. Wait, okay, that's really, that's actually huge. That's actually pretty much game-winning damage. At this point, he can just defend for the rest of the game, and he should be fine. But unfortunately, he does have to overcommit on that ghost with the archers. But it does cycle him the evil archers, so that's not bad. It does make him cycle to the evil archers. He's obviously going to fireball those zappies. Pretty obvious play. I don't need to explain why he did that. Really bad cannon cart. It's just going to die to the Tesla. Yeah, perfect. And now those evil archers are going to do work on that boss bandit. Yep, he dashes one more time. And now we can just Skellies there and go with this evil Tesla. And that is perfect. Alright, now he has an evil Tesla that will be blocking the bridge for a while. So the opponent can't really do much right now. He's going to go with his knight there. The ghost is going to go invisible again, unfortunate. But he does have the boss bandit there. I assume he goes with his cannon cart again. Yeah, he does, which is fine. Betfas might just fireball that. Yeah, fireball log, good fireball log there. The opponent does go with an ability. If he had an ability, I'm thinking whether that would have gotten damage or not on the tower. But he messes up the boss bandit ability there, so kind of wasted one elixir. But at this point, I think Betfas is just going to go defensive Xbow, because there's not really a reason to go on offense here. He can just spell cycle the opponent, and there's not really much he can do here. So, yeah, that golden knight, wow, that golden knight just dashed on everything. The good thing is that he doesn't have battle ram, so he can't really get damage here in theory. This is like pretty much a no win condition deck, which is kind of interesting, guys. He does miss the cannon cart there. Yo, that ghost plus golden knight was kind of scary there, but I think he defends well. He might fireball that just to be sure. I think he does. Yeah, he does. And that's going to be GG's, guys. Look at that. Just 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And the opponent can do nothing but stare at his tower being destroyed to shreds, guys. Look at that. Perfectly played, guys. That is exactly how you want to deal with bridge spam decks. And of course, guys, I couldn't obviously miss his game to #1. This is the game to #1, guys. He's against Alpha Q. This guy's a very interesting person. I'm sure you guys have heard of him on Twitter and pretty much everywhere. He's a very peculiar individual. I won't share the reasons why, but he's not a very liked person in the community. That's all I'm going to say. And although he is not very, not very fond in the community, he is a very good player nonetheless. And here he's facing Betfas for the #1 spot in the world. And there's about a day left. So this is going to be a really, really nice game, guys. I think the opponent is playing Rocket Cycle. So this should be a decent matchup for Betfas, I want to say. I could be wrong about that. But Betfas should have a decent matchup here if he can just pressure the entire game. And not let him get like rocket cycles on the tower, because the opponent can defend without a rocket, and so he can just rocket the tower, especially in like double, triple elixir. That's when it starts to get a little bit difficult here. But he's gonna fireball that. Kind of a bad play in my opinion, because he did go with the ability there, so kind of a bad fireball. I know what he was trying to do there, but Alpha Q did go with his ability there, so that mitigated the fireball. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a fireball cycle match. Once again, guys, this is not a matchup where you're getting a lock. This guy has a whole bunch of responses. He's got the rocket, he's got the demolisher, he's got the knight, he's got the cannon, he's got the ice spirit, the skeletons, everything. Pretty much his entire deck is like an Xbow counter deck. you know, because he has like pretty much all of his cards in his deck are counters to Xbow. So this is going to be another spell cycle match, guys, as you will see here. I'm curious to see what he does here. So Betfas is going to fireball that. The opponent low-key might just rocket the tower. No, he's going to rocket the Xbow. Okay, that's a good play by him. He's going to start rocket cycling probably in triple elixir, if I had to guess. Because in double, he can just get, like, completely pressured. And so, like, this is just a bad play in general. So, yeah, we probably won't see any rockets on the tower as of yet. Probably not until triple elixir. But Betfas does elect to go fireball onto that demolisher. And he's going to go with a rocket already. That's a bad play. So Betfas goes with the skeletons and then Xbow because he doesn't want him to predict the Xbow there. So at this point, I think he's just going to, yeah, go all in here. But unfortunately, the opponent does have like a really good counter. So he's going to get away with that, I think. Yeah, he's going to get away with that. There's not really much he could do. So now he's going to go with the skeletons, just tank, and then Ice Spirit. Yeah, he gets no damage once again. So the opponent, yeah, the opponent's going to go with his knight there, kind of. Well, okay, wait, that can't be a good play. Yeah, because the Betfas is just going to go with his Xbow now. Nah, I think that was an aggressive rocket. That might cost him the game, guys. And it does! It locks into the tower. Wait, the Xbow locks into the tower. There's no way. The opponent has to go with his ability. He misses the ability, too. There's no way. Oh, my God, guys. This guy actually just... Look at this, dude. Yeah. And Betfas is sending the emotes. There's actually no way. He messed up 2 times. Not once, but twice. Even with the ability. And I think that will get Betfas to #1 in the world, guys. Let me just check real quick where he's at. He is #1, guys. No freaking way. That is insane. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys some replays now that did get him to #1. And yeah, stay tuned, guys. Now, we will be watching one of his replays, guys, that he did send against one of the hardest matchups. And who else to show it, better to show it than against Baby Nate, guys. This matchup is very hard for Xbow. He can hardly get ever a lock. And I think just in general, this is just not a good matchup. Even with the Dark Prince variation, which he isn't playing right now because the Hero Knight is completely busted against Xbow. So I do think this is probably one of the harder matchups for Xbow once again. I mean, I've said that like the entire video. Like the Xbow just unfortunately does not have that many great matchups in the meta, and even Betfas himself said this was the worst meta he's ever seen, as illustrated in the picture above. So yeah, this is going to be quite a difficult matchup. Let's see how he deals with this. Yeah, okay, right off the bat, he's going to go with an Xbow, but it is well defended with just a Tesla plus a Knight. It really does not take that much to defend Xbow. Just a Knight plus a Tesla will fully counter it, so kind of unfortunate for Betfas there. So yeah, he's going to go E-Spirit the bridge. Obviously, Nate is going to catch that with his own E-Spirit, just so he can't get any damage. But this matchup, once again, is another minor matchup, which it's another minor control deck, which you don't want to be taking almost any damage at all. Although I would say this version might be a little bit better than the minor wall breakers one, just because he doesn't have that poison cycle every single time. Although he does have the rocket, which is debatably worse than the poison in this matchup. But that's only because it does like 200 more damage than a fireball. So Betfas is probably going to be trying to fireball cycle once again, because that's really his only way of damage in this matchup. I would say there's not really much he can do if Nate plays this correctly. So yeah, he's just gonna go with this delivery there, counter that fully. But what he can do, Betfas, is go with his split lane pressure. Since he did outcycle his delivery, he could probably go Xbow one lane and then Knight the other just to try to get some damage. But it seems like he doesn't elect to do that. Instead, he would rather go with his own Knight and probably go with his ability, if I had to guess. Ooh, perfect log. Okay, kind of bad skillies there. He didn't catch the minor there. But yeah, Nate's just going to go log there. Not really much damage he can get. And yeah, they're just going to reset with archers here, cycling back to his Evo. Betfas is going to go opposite lane with the Xbow in hopes that he's going to try to rocket cycle, but he doesn't manage to get that. But he does have to. He still does have to spend quite a bit of elixir there. He still has to go with his Knight, I'm pretty sure, right? Unless he doesn't. That's fine. But as you can see, guys, Betfas does check a fireball there. Pretty obvious play. But, yeah, that's kind of what he has to do in this matchup, unfortunately. But Nate, once again, is going to go with a rocket just to kill the knight and the Xbow. So, kind of sucks there. Nate's not really, he's not really rocket cycling, which is good. But Betfas just is not able to get damage for some reason because of the rock and the knight. So that kind of sucks. But I do think he's going to fireball the tower once again. Nate can fireball. That's perfectly fine. Nate's probably going to rocket. Yeah, he does rocket. And now Betfas can go with his Xbow plus Knight. And then even Evil Archers if he has to. He goes Esprit there. Ooh, really good prediction by Nate. And now he can just log the Archers away. Okay, really, really well played by Nate there. Betfas does elect to still... oh my god, what is that? Dude, that's a huge mistake. And that's going to be pretty much game-winning damage. Betfas went with a... Okay, Nate went with a really bad Knight there. Really, really bad timing. And at this point, I feel like he kind of loses from this position on, no? Like, he's going to rocket the tower. What is he doing, bro? What's Nate doing? He can't get away with that. Because now Betfas is just going to fireball the Knight there. Fireball it away. But I think Triple does end up... No, it doesn't. It actually doesn't save him. And that's going to be GG's, guys. Oh, my God. Holy cow. And he just fireballs the tower to win. Perfect win right there against a hard counter. And Nate. All right, guys. Into our second replay against probably one of the harder matchups in this game. Or, I guess not on top ladder. But this is a matchup which I assume you guys would want to watch. So make sure you guys watch till the end. And make sure you guys learn how Betfas does deal with Piggy's EQ, because I know a lot of you do struggle against this kind of deck, even though the matchup I would say is like a 50-50 now that the queen ability or the 3-card cycle is kind of gone. But this deck used to be one of the harder counters, one of the hardest counters to Xbow. So make sure you guys stay tuned, watch till the end, see how Betfas deals with this, and yeah, just sit back and enjoy. Alright, so right now, the game is kind of in a stalemate. The opponent goes with a EQ on the cannon. Good play there because he does want to split his Royal Hogs here. Yep, that's exactly what he's going to do. Betfas does defend that with just an Esprit plus Skellies, and then I assume he's going to... Okay, he's going to take all that damage and just go with an Xbow. Because the opponent just used his Earthquake, so that's a good play by him. He's also going to go with his... Archers the bridge, but unfortunately he's not going to get any damage. Wow. Really good defense by the opponent, but he has no elixir for the knight. So he goes with his ability there. Oh my god, look at the damage. Holy cow. That was a really good play by Betfas there, knowing that the opponent didn't have much elixir, and so he had to go with his delivery on 0. He could have even logged there, but since he did go with his ability, the log wouldn't have been enough. And so that was a good play by the opponent to wait for the delivery and not take, like, pretty much 2,000 damage. He would have taken way more damage if he had logged that. So good play by the opponent there. I assume Betfas here is going to be going with his knight the back for that queen. And in this matchup, once again, this will be another fireball cycle match. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I've said this 1,000 times. This is pretty much how the entire meta was last season. So, like, he's just going to be fireball cycling. Like, that's just how the meta is, unfortunately. So, yeah, just bear with me here. He's going to Earthquake on that. He has Royal Hogs Evo, so the opponent's probably not going to play it for a while. Okay, never mind. I spoke too soon. Archers plus Tesla come down there. He doesn't have his EQ, so he knows that. And that queen is probably going to get countered by the Hero Knight ability. Kind of a bad expo there. He was going same lane as the opponent. Just not a good play, in my opinion. Yeah, the opponent just Earthquakes that. That's perfect by him. I don't really know how to pronounce his name, but I think this is the best Royal Hogs player. So he obviously knows what he's doing. And as you guys see there, Betfas just chucks a random fireball at the bridge, or at the tower, because he can. He's already up damage. He's up elixir, so he's able to do that. And you don't usually want to do this with every single deck, but most decks you will. And yeah, the opponent's just gonna cycle an Earthquake there just to get some damage on the tower. Betfas is back to his Tesla, so he's gonna go Tesla there just so the queen doesn't hit it. But now he has another ability, so he has to low-key get back to a knight here for that. The opponent goes with his ability there, but he goes knight right on top. That's going to kill the queen. And now he's probably going to trick another fireball. Yep, as I said. I mean, who knew? Who would have known? And now he has an Evo Tesla. He's going to go Evo Tesla and then log, and that should take out the majority. Unfortunately, he still has to go with his log. The opponent's probably going to EQ this. Yep, he does. Okay. Decent EQ, but as I said, this is literally just a spell cycle match, guys. Queen down for the opponent, so Betfas is forced to go with his knight there, unfortunately. But I think Betfas is probably going to set up a Tesla there. He's going to predict a cannon. No, he's not. Wow, okay. He goes Skelly's there. That queen, I think, dies, right? No, it doesn't die. So he's forced to log, get some chip damage on the tower. I think Betfas is going to fireball. I could be wrong. No, he has to fireball on defense, low-key. Or not. Wow, okay, so just fireballs the tower. Interesting. There's a queen there, and he's just randomly fireballing the tower. I don't know if I would have done that personally, but then again, who am I? Like, this is the best Xbow player in the game, so not really much I can say about this gameplay. Since this did get him to top 1. Wow. The opponent here is just cycling EQs. He can't really get by this defense because, first of all, Betfas is already up, like, way too much damage, so there's not really, like anything the opponent can do here. Like, sure, he can just EQ the tower a few times, but he's not going to get enough damage to win the game because, like, Betfas is just going to fireball once again. Yeah, Tesla there, good Tesla, because he wants to push the hoggies into the Tesla because for some reason it has a weird range bug which does not allow them to get pulled by a centered Tesla. So yeah, that's going to be GG's, guys. Pretty I mean, he made that look pretty easy. I mean, I wish I could beat this matchup like this. This guy is just on a whole new level, beating hard counters back to back. Into our next match, guys, and what better matchup to show than against Giant Prince. This is one of the most AIDS decks in the entire meta, guys. This is like what makes the game unfun, at least for me. And he's using both the Hero Giant and the Hero Mini P.E.K.K.A. 2 decks, 2 cards that you just do not want to face. It is not fun, and everybody knows that. So yeah. Whoa, Betfas goes with an interesting play there. Xbow's same lane as that big push. I honestly do not know if he can defend this. I could be wrong. He's going to go with a good taunt ability there, but low-key, how does he defend if he just alls in? All goes all in now. Because he's going to go with his ability there. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. is going to kill one of the archers. No, he's not. Wow, so he ends up defending his tower there. Goes with the giant. That bomber doesn't get a last shot. Wow. So he ends up defending his tower there somehow. I have no clue how, but yeah, that's kind of crazy right there. I low-key thought he was going to lose the game from that. But apparently he's just superhuman, and he just somehow was able to come out of there on top. But the only thing about this is that he has got a lightning, so unfortunately he's just going to... I don't think Betfas knows that, or else he would have gone with the Tesla high. So yeah, the opponent's going to just lightning, and that will be like 2 lightnings away, or now 1 lightning away from winning the game. But, or not from winning the game, but from taking the tower. But opponent just goes with his rage plus ability there. Not bad. And now, honestly, I don't really know. Yeah, that was a good log. I was going to say that was a prediction there because he knew that the opponent had Evil Bomber. So if he did go with his Evil Bomber, it would have died to the log plus Archer. So good play by him. But Betfas is in a really, really bad position now because the opponent's going to take the tower, obviously, with the lightning on the opposite lane. And going same lane to any kind of giant deck is just not it, guys. And he's got Evil Zap, of course, just to make things even worse than they already were. The Chinese guy here is going to get some damage, I think, with the Dark Prince. Yeah, wow. That sucks. Yeah, that's not a good play. But the opponent just lightnings the tower there. Kind of an interesting thing. But, yeah. Betfas is now just going to go with his knight to kill the Dark Prince there. He's going to kill a little bit of the Dark Prince. He might go giant in the middle. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chinese guy does that. No, he doesn't. He elects to just zap rage that off the map, which I do agree with because he does have the Evo Zap and he wants to cycle back to it. But it looks like he might be going for the 3 crown maybe, or no. Okay, wow. So just giant the pocket there. Ooh, the Evo Bomber. He has to go Evo Tesla there, yeah. If he hadn't gotten that down, he would have taken a ton of damage. So kind of a good by him that he went with his Evo Tesla there. But he's going to try to go with the sneaky Archer's Knight the Pocket there. It usually does work, but it didn't this time. And of course, the opponent has to overcommit on that defense, which is really good because Betfas, it wants him to overcommit on the defense. He doesn't want him to just keep pressuring with giants, with dark princes, with lightnings, rage, all those shenanigans. He doesn't want him to go with that. So I think the opponent's gonna go with he's gonna go with his giant plus bomber there and dark prince. I think Betfas has to Tesla. Yeah, he has to Tesla, and then Skellies, and then I think he E-Spirits on top of this, just to pull everything back, and that's a perfect defense right there, guys. He's going to log the mini P.E.K.K.A just so he doesn't take care of his Tesla, and yeah, Betfas is in a really bad spot here. Honestly, I don't know how he comes back from this, but we'll have to see what he does, because he's going to go with this giant mini P.E.K.K.A in the pocket, and honestly, if he wanted to, he could just lightning cycle the Betfas, and he can't really do anything. So yeah, he cycles his spells there. So there's not really much he can do here. He's just gonna naked lightning the tower. Betfas is gonna fireball the tower. Kind of a weird play. I think what Betfas is gonna do here, guys, is he's gonna try to go with his Archer's Knight the Pocket, as you guys will see in a second. He's gonna wait for him to overcommit and then go with a Archer's Knight the Pocket. Watch this, watch this. Archer's Knight. Look at that, dude. Look at that. He lightnings at the wrong time. Perfect. Betfas gets a ton of damage with those archers, and I think that's GG's. Bro, he waited for the opponent to lightning the tower there on 0, and that is perfectly played right there. He knew the opponent was going to go with the lightning, and he predicted it with his knight archers. And now now it's impossible for the opponent to come back. He lightnings nothing, and now he just fireballs the tower, and that's going to be GG's, guys. There's absolutely no way he just came back from that. Yeah, he's given the wow. He's setting the global tournament emote, guys. Top 100 global tournament emote. He is not happy, the opponent, and he's not BMing anymore, guys. That is a perfect comeback win against Giant. And what better way to end off the video with a replay against the #1 finishing player from last season? I mean, come on, guys. The video couldn't be better, right? We're against the #1 player from last season as I'm recording this. And this game, I can tell you guys, it is going to be insane. I watched this replay already. The game is, all I'm going to say is that you guys should stick to the end. You guys are not going to want to miss this. It is a crazy comeback win. I guarantee you guys are not going to want to miss it. So make sure you guys stay till the end. But we're against classic logbait here, kind of, with the Evil Skarmy, which is the only difference, instead of the Goblin Gang. But nonetheless, this is not a good matchup for Xbow. And Betfas is going to show you exactly how you're supposed to win this. The game's going to get very, very close towards the end, but I guarantee you Betfas is going to make a crazy play. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, don't worry. But yeah, I mean, it's just going to be insane. That's all I have to say for this. So yeah, he's against it's a very different variation since Evo Skarmy did come out. It's going to be a little bit of a different variation of classic logbait, but nonetheless, I think it's not a good matchup for Xbow at all. But here we are. He does go with his Xbow there. The opponent responds with a rocket plus knight. So that's 9 elixir on an Xbow, which I don't really agree with, especially in single. But I could be wrong. Obviously, this guy finished #1, so there's not much to say about that. He's obviously better than me. But I don't think 9 elixir for 6 should be the play, especially not in single elixir against Xbow, because he can just outcycle him, which he's going to do in a second, I think. He's just going to E-Spirit here because he did catch that in the back. But the opponent is already back to a rocket, guys. And you can see why this deck is really hard to beat, because he doesn't have a reliable source of getting damage except fireballs. Fireballs is the only way Betfas is ever going to touch the tower here, and you guys will see what I mean in a second. So Ichihu does place his princess a little bit high, so he can't fireball the princess in the tower. He has Evo Skarmy, guys. I mean, that is just not good. You never want to face that card, bro. Even E-Spirit plus Log, it's such a difficult combo to get. But wait, here he might get some damage with that Xbow. Wait, I spoke too soon. That's actually some really good damage. So yeah, he's going to start the fireball cycle already. I'm not surprised. He's probably going to go Xbow opposite lane. Yep, I was going to say. The opponent's going to rocket that because, yeah, you don't want to risk... what's it called? You don't want to risk going with your Inferno Tower and just losing the game straight off of that. So that was a good play by the opponent there. He does not, unfortunately, catch the Princess, which might cost him the game, low-key. That might have cost him the game if he hadn't if you would have caught that. But now the opponent's just going to go with his knight plus rocket every time. And there's not really much he can do here, guys. I'm kind of worried. But I am interested to see how he does win this. But he's going to go archers, and then he's going to go with another Xbow, guys, because he's trying to outcycle the rocket. He did outcycle it by quite a bit. But the opponent, I think, is still going to go with a knight plus rocket here, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he's going to go Tesla. Yeah, he's just going to rocket that. There's no reason why you wouldn't want to rocket that. Good rocket there by the opponent. He's probably going to go with this Gombril here just to cycle to his Evo Barrel. But Evo Barrels are kind of hard to defend, especially with, like, the Evo Skarmy split and stuff like that. Evo Skarmy is not a really fun deck to, or a fun card to face, as you guys see here. But he's just going to fireball the princess, take the chip damage there. As I said, this matchup is just spell cycle. It's pretty much just a spell cycle race. It's going to be kind of aids, but Betfas here is going to go with the skeletons just to try to catch the knight there, kill the knight. Wow, that Xbow didn't even kill the princess. That kind of sucks. He does waste his logs on the Skarmy, so it means he has to go with his ability there. Guys, take note of that. That ability right there, he was able to go with his ability there instead of go with the fireball. A worse player would have gone with their fireball there instead of the taunt ability. But then again, guys, that's another reason why Betfas is like the best Xbow player in the world, because he makes plays like that. Like, nobody does those kind of plays, and it just shows how good he is at the game. So hopefully you guys did learn something from that. But I mean, he's just so good, guys. It's unbelievable. His micros, his macros, like, his just decision making is insane. But he's gonna fireball the tower here, and then prediction log. Oh my god! Wait, I think that wins him the game. Wait, EG who can't get a rocket down in time, and that's gonna win him the game, guys. Oh my god. That is insane right there. That is exactly why Betfas is the best Xbow player in the entire game. You saw that right there, guys. Perfect prediction to win the game. And that is exactly how he was able to get #1 in the world with 1 day left and #3 in the world at the end of the season. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you guys leave a thumbs up. Make sure you guys do subscribe. Go check out Betfas on his social media, guys. I will post it in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.